The West African gas pipeline company WAPCo has agreed to postpone its planned pipeline maintenance by 2 weeks, a decision expected to mitigate the looming power crisis in Ghana. Akosia Ochere has the details.
The combination of the scheduled WAPCo maintenance and the fuel deficit would have severely affected the country's electricity generation capacity. Following a crucial meeting, the technical committee formed by the Office of the President and WAPCo agreed to delay the maintenance for 14 days.
Our operational teams have been working diligently with our vendors. Right now we are still working to get commitment, but there is a possibility of a slight deferral. It won't be the full month, but we're looking at up to potentially 2 weeks deferral in the start of the operation.
Okay, so are you trying to say that we can defer it from January 20th to say February?
I believe it would be 3rd February.
3rd February.
It's okay.
We're continuing to work with our vendors today to see if we can make those commitments firm. But that is our target right now, is to look for as much possible deferral.
Meanwhile, President John Mahama, in his address at the annual convention of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission in the Central Region, asserted that the previous government knew there wasn't enough fuel to power thermal plants to generate electricity and promised to work towards keeping the lights on.
Unfortunately, enough provision was not made for this eventuality. When the fuel arrives, it takes time to import it, 3 weeks to place an order and get it delivered. And when it arrives, you have to treat the fuel for another week and a half to make it ready for use in the generating plants. And so there's a threat of power outages. But my brothers and sisters, don't despair. Like I said, you elected us to solve the problems, not to put the blame on anybody else or to shoulder you with those problems. And so yesterday I called a meeting of all the stakeholders in the electricity value chain. And they have been sitting since yesterday to today to come out with innovative solutions so that we're able to keep the lights on. And so I can assure you, with some of the ideas they've come up with, we would make sure that your lights stay on and that we do not have doomsday, as you popularly call it.
In a different development, President John Mahama announced immediate plans to establish a committee for a National Constitution Review Conference.
Amir, Chairman, my brothers and sisters, to achieve this objective of justice, we would have to move the stalled constitutional review process forward. To achieve this, I would soon establish a committee to begin the planning of a National Constitutional Review Validation Conference to achieve broad consensus on the way forward for the constitutional amendments that we have all proposed.
Following appeals by former president for the completion of major health projects, John Mahama promised to ensure their completion.
In addition to this, healthcare is another urgent focus of our administration. We will prioritize investments in infrastructure and human resources to ensure accessible quality medical care. We shall continue abundant health projects and operationalize them as key steps towards expanding healthcare access nationwide.